Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the call. My name is Marie Bolena, one of the leaders in the San Diego marketplace. Tonight, we're going to talk about our project that deals with essential services. I'm grateful for all of you who are on this call tonight, and someone thought so highly of you, invited you on. And what I'm going to do is to get myself out of the way, because the gentleman who's going to share the information tonight is one of the most successful entrepreneurs across the United States. This man has business from coast to coast and in other countries as well. I couldn't think of a better person to kick off this call, none other than Mr. Julian Lewis. Thank you, sir, for being on the call with us tonight.
Good evening. What's up, Marie? How are you doing? It's good to see your face. Hey, everyone. Before I get started, I just want to let you know that the individual that just introduced me, she didn't say anything about herself. She's at a prestigious position within the company. She's a regional coordinator in our organization. She's having a lot of success in her business. She's a software engineer background outside of the business. She's a mother of two beautiful daughters, and she is a beast when it comes to this business. So I just want you to know who you heard from. Don't let the smile fool you. She is amazing. So the thing that I want to do right now is, before we get started, I just want to give you a little bit about my brief background, and then we're going to get into what we're going to be doing tonight. Is that okay, everyone? All right, perfect. So prior to getting involved with this company, I was a senior systems engineer. I was working roughly 80 to 90 hours a week. I was averaging 50 to 60 flights a year, which put me in a situation where I really didn't have a lot of time for myself or my family. But good fortune came my way. I was introduced to this project by my first mentor in this industry, who shared with me the Acn system. And what it allows busy people like me to do is to leverage our time and build something all alongside our crazy work schedules that can ultimately allow us to walk away or to do something different if we choose. For me, in 6 months building this part-time, it enabled me to come home to my family, and most importantly, become the type of daughter or a father that my daughter deserved. And so what we're going to be doing this evening, we're going to go through a quick overview. So if anyone's new on here and you're like, these people are excited, energetic, but I'm confused, we're going to go through some details first. And then afterwards, we're going to get into a training that is going to share with you the system or the foundation that we use to have success in our business model. So let me go ahead and get myself out of the way. We'll bring up a quick video, and then afterwards, I'll come right back up and we'll go over the details.
Right now, someone is watching TV, shopping online, sharing on social media, scrolling a news feed, cooking, turning on lights, texting, paying with a credit card, and someone is definitely making a phone call. Now, imagine earning income through your very own business every time a customer pays a bill for services they're already using anyway. With Acn, you can. With a 27-year track record of success, Acn is the largest direct seller of telecommunications, energy, and essential services in the world. Today, we operate in 27 countries and have offices throughout North America, Europe, Latin America, Asia, and the Pacific. We're constantly evolving our portfolio of products to stay ahead of what millions of consumers and businesses need and use every day. Now, Acn has added identity theft protection through ID Seal to its suite of essential services. Thanks to Acn's innovative mindset, we're just getting started, and the world is taking notice. Inc. magazine also recently recognized Acn as a private titan, a designation reserved for the largest and most iconic privately held companies in the world. This is your opportunity to establish your very own Acn business, offering the essential services that people and businesses already use every day, and an opportunity to get paid every time they pay a bill for these services. It's your life. Imagine earning an income on your own terms. That's what Acn is all about, and now you can be a part of it.
So the video does a great job really summing up the project, but just to recap so you understand it, Acn as a company does marketing for all the major brand name utilities that you're familiar with. We do that not just in the United States, but all over the world. And the reason why those companies partner with ACN, our unique business model allows us to help them save their customers money on their bills and allows independent business owners to get paid every single month alongside the utility. So that's basically it in a nutshell. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to get into the details so that you can really understand this. So that if you take a look at the first slide that I'm going to bring up, what you'll notice is it's talking about the background of the company. So ACN, give me 1 second. ACN at the background of the company, we're the world's largest at what we do. And not only that, but we've been around for years. We have experience in this industry. We started in January of 1993. We're global. We did $4 billion over the last 5 years alone. And we've acquired millions of customers dealing in essential services, both for the home and the business. Services like cell phones, high-speed internet, bundled services, television, gas and electricity, security and automation, payment processing, and identity theft protection. And companies that you're familiar with, a few of them are DirecTV, Frontier, Dish Network, Vivint Home Security, AT&T, and even Spectrum that have come on board to participate with us. And the reason why they are working with us is because of our unique business model. One of the special things we do is we free up enough money in savings to help them actually pay it forward. And we do that through our charity, Project Feeding Kids. When we acquire a customer, a child gets fed. On top of that, our business model is so unique because most service providers, they use what we call media and internet marketing in hopes to attract customers. What ACN does is they bypass those expensive forms of advertising and they go direct to the customer, allowing us to save the customer money and at the same time having enough left over for you and I to be compensated. And so it's great because ACN takes care of all the heavy lifting. They take care of the accounts payable, they take care of the accounts receivable, they take care of global expansion, and they take care of the blueprint that we follow step by step to build a business. And we get to build a business with this global platform for a one-time startup cost of only $199. That takes care of your website, marketing tools, tracking and reporting, and complete customer support. And as your business grows and expands into multiple cities, states, and even countries, the overhead monthly expense to run a global operation is only $25. Both the startup and that monthly are tax deductions or tax write-offs, and you have the opportunity to get started in a business where you own your own online business, which means you can plug in from anywhere around the world and start going with your ACN business. And what's really impressive is the way we get paid. You get paid when you refer people and they become customers. Now, there's a few ways that works. The first way is in personal bonuses. So when you refer your first 3 services to ACN, ACN is going to pay you a $75 bonus. 2 more services will pay you a $200 bonus. And from that point forward, every 3 additional services will pay you another $200 bonus. And there's no limit to the amount of times you can do that every calendar month. Now, those customers that you're referring, they're going to be paying a bill every single month. And when your customers that you refer start paying their bills, you also get paid a percentage on their bills. ACN starts you out earning 3% on all of the monthly commissionable revenue coming from your customers' bills. But as you gather more customers and your customer counts increase, your percentages increase. And you can max out and earn a full 20% on all of the monthly commissionable revenue coming from your customers' bills. And as you share this opportunity with others, some people are going to get excited about becoming a customer and lowering their bill, while other people are going to get excited about getting started in business with ACN and getting paid monthly on bills. Now, when people join ACN, they don't just join the company, they join as a part of your organization or as a part of your team. And when your team members go out and gather customers, not only are they going to get paid, so will you. You have the opportunity to earn bonuses that are paid out weekly when your team acquires customers, ranging between $50 and as high as $350 every single time that happens. And when your team members' customers start paying their monthly bills, Your team is going to get paid on it, but you have the opportunity to get paid on it as well. Acn will pay you an overriding residual income every single month on all of the bills coming from the customers that your team members refer. You actually earn 4% month in, month out on all of the monthly commissionable revenue from your team's customers. And as you and your team gather more customers, you have the opportunity to be able to earn positions that will allow you to increase your monthly bonuses, increase your monthly residual income, and take vacations all around the world. And so it's exciting to be a part of it. It's exciting to participate with Acn because they take care of all of the steps needed. All you need to do is apply work ethic to the training system and get results. Speaking of that, we have an online onboarding process. So wherever you are, you can tap in remotely and get started and start getting results. We're going to show you how to enroll as an independent business owner, utilize the support system, participate in training, and start acquiring customers because you're in business for yourself, but never by yourself. And with that being said, what I want you to think about is what type of category you see yourself leaning most towards. If you're seeing this for the very first time, 99% of the people that see this information at this point have enough of it to be able to determine which category they're leaning most towards. And there are three categories. Whether you're a category 3, where you want to support your friend or family member and become a customer. My mom was a category 3. She loved the idea of saving money on her bills. She also loved the idea of supporting her son and feeding hungry children in the process. And if that sounds like you, we want to thank you for your support in business. If you're a category 2, then you're more like me. As an engineer, I had never done anything like this. I didn't even know if I could, but I was interested. It made sense to get paid on bills people had to pay for no matter what. And so if you're interested, but you have a few questions, we're going to make sure through this training, you get your questions answered so you can make the best decision for you. And if you're a number 1 category, you're like Marie Belena. Marie saw this opportunity in a 10-minute presentation video on her lunch break at work. It made sense to her. She trusted her friend that brought it to her and knew that I was having success in the business. She decided to get started right away and earn while she learned the business. And now she is a regional coordinator in our company. So if you're a number 1, welcome to the team. We're excited to lock arms with you as you embark on your journey with us. Now, with that being said, that's the information. What we're going to be doing right now is going through the details of the training. And here's one thing I need to share with you. I want you to key in on one thing right now. You're going to see the simplicity of the model. And I don't want you to get confused because in my job in corporate America, the more complicated my job, the more money I make. Can you guys agree that's normally true, right? The more complex or complicated, the more money you make. The more degrees, the more money. In business, it's the complete opposite. Hear me very closely. The more simple it is, the more money you make. So we're not oversimplifying. We're going to show you exactly what you need to do step by step. We completely trim the fat. There is nothing else extra. If you focus on these concepts that we're going to talk to you about, you're going to have the same type of results or better than the people that have come before you. So are you guys ready to get started with the training? All right, let's do it. So you take a look. We're going to get right into it, guys. The training is the blueprint to your success. A scalable business comes from not just work ethic, not just the drive. It comes from having a blueprint that anyone that joins can follow. And so that is exactly what Acn has provided. The first thing that's going to happen when you get started in the business is we're going to set up your personalized website. It's designed for piquing interest for your customers as well as independent business owners. We do that through logging you in through your back office, activating it, and helping you to choose whatever name you want for your website. After we do that, we take it to the most important part, which is going to be the foundation of building your business. It's your mindset, everyone. Your mindset is everything. So if we're getting started and you have the right mindset, you're going to be able to take this to the next level. And so what do we mean when we talk about the Acn mindset or having the right mindset? Well, your mindset is the foundation for the home that you're building in Acn. And I want you to think about a home. Let's say we had all the resources to build the type of home that we wanted, our dream house. We had access to the right architects. We had access to the best materials. We had the financial support, and we had the access to everything that you needed to create your dream home. And as we started going, we built it on a faulty foundation. Can we agree, no matter how beautiful that home is, over time, the home is going to come down? The same thing applies with Acn. You have all the tools. You're going to get all the resources you need. You're going to have leaders that lock arms with you. But if your foundation is faulty, if you don't have the right mindset as your foundation, over time, that home will come down. So I want to make sure we start with the right mindset. And getting started with the right mindset, these are a few things, and you can screenshot this. Time with family, to pay off some bills, have a strong reason why, help with college education for your children, help your parents, family vacation, to give more to charity. These are ideas of why someone would join Acn, because it's not about the money. Some people might say, well, yes, it is. Well, I get that, but it's more about what you would do it with the money that would bring meaning into your life. See, for me, it was about getting residual type income to come in every single month so that I could spend my time with the people that were important to me. I wanted to focus on my newborn baby girl. I wanted to make sure that she knew her father, because in my opinion, we would have a lot less problems in the world if more fathers had good relationships with their daughters, or at least they wouldn't marry or date some of the idiots that they do. And that comes with being there present. For me, it was my mission. I didn't want to just give financially. I wanted her to be able to have time with me so that I could pour into her and create the foundation she needed to grow into a beautiful young lady. And guys, all I can tell you is Acn has done that, but I had to start with a strong reason why. Now, why is that so important? Because I was busy. I was working, I mentioned 80 to 90 hours a week at my job. I was always exhausted. And I needed something bigger than me to allow me to push to do this when I was exhausted. I needed something bigger than me so that I could reach and pull for that when I didn't feel like doing it. And it's the thing that kept my feet to the fire that allowed me to get the job done so that I could accomplish the goal of coming home to my family. So you want to identify a strong reason why. Once you do, let's get into how business owners think. There's a difference between how consumers and employees think and how business owners think. Business owners know how to make a decision. Business owners understand that there's a learning curve. What does that mean? Some things are going to come easy to you, some things aren't. But it's not about everything coming easy. It's about understanding there's a process and accepting it. There's an emotional roller coaster. There are ups and downs in life. There are ups and downs in marriage. There are ups and downs at your job. Same thing applies in Acn. If you keep an even keel, you'll have success. Develop the right mental attitude. What does that mean? Positive. People are attracted in business to people that are positive. You've never met someone that said, you know what, I love so-and-so. What are the reasons why you love them? Oh, because they're just so negative. That will never happen. You want to learn to be positive and understand that most people that are negative don't believe they're negative. They just think they're being real. The truth is they're just being real negative. So you want to assess that for yourself. Understand that some will, some won't, so what? Who's next? We're in a process as a business owner of sorting, not selling and convincing. You want to have long-term thinking, have a vision of where you want to be in the next 5 years, and then we'll reverse engineer it and focus on the day-to-day goals to get there. And then you never want to quit, because people in business understand that by moving forward an inch a day, a mile a day, or whatever, you're going to have a lot of results. Now, let's talk about the list. This is everything. I really hope you key in on this part, because those that get this are going to have an extremely accelerated launch in the business. See, your list is everything. Your list is your multi-million-dollar opportunity once it's plugged in to ACN. Through your list, you're going to identify people who join. Through your list, you're going to identify people who become customers. And through your list, you're going to have on both sides people who don't join or don't become customers who lead you to those that will. Those are referrals. So we focus on what we call warm market. Why? Because these are people you already have a relationship with. Where are these lists coming from? Everywhere. Social media, email, cell phone. So you want to make sure that whatever platform you're using, write a list of the people you know, your cell phone, your email contacts, everything that you can put down. And then what we do is we don't prejudge. Here's why. Our job isn't to convince them to join ACN. Our job is just to show it to them and get their opinion. Because if you do that, the right people will get involved and the right people will become your customer. And then from that point, we just contact everyone as soon as possible. And then we sort for people that are looking for us. Now, what does sorting look like? We ask a simple question to everyone that is on our list. We ask them for their opinion. Here's what we know about an opinion. People love to give their opinion. People will give you their opinion even when you don't ask for it. So when you ask someone for their opinion, it empowers them to do something where they feel good that you want to hear what they think. So the thing what we're going to do with the list, we're not going to sell people on becoming a customer. We're not going to even pitch them on the business. What we're going to do is we're going to ask them for their opinion. We're going to ask them for their opinion because the whole goal is to get as many sets of eyes on the business so that we can find the people that this information resonates with who want to become a customer or a business partner. And in doing so, you build your business. I was asked this recently, what is the most important skill I can develop in ACN? And I'm going to share it with you right now. And remember, I said the most simple things are the most important, right? What is the most important skill you can build? Getting great at asking for an opinion. If you can get great at asking for an opinion, it's going to lead to all the customers in your business, and it's going to lead to all the business partners in your team. By doing that one thing, you get everything you need in ACN. Now, when people see the business and we get their opinion, our job is to sort, not sell. So what does that even mean? That means that when we share with people the opportunity, if you notice in the presentation, I shared that people, when they see this, they fall into one of three categories. So the way that looks is there are going to be people that want to support. They love the idea of savings. It has nothing to do with the presentation. It has nothing to do with you. It has to do with who they are. Know this. Everyone that sees this is already wired a certain way. Our job isn't to rewire the way people think. My job isn't to convince somebody that they want to do the business. My job isn't to convince somebody that they want to be a customer. My job is just to ask them the question and let them tell me who they are. So when you say, I want your opinion, some people are going to see this and all they're going to see is savings. They're going to be a number three. When they decide they're a number three, we thank them for their support and we get them as a customer. Some people are going to see this and they're going to say, I want to do this. Either they're going to have questions, which is a number two, or they're ready to get started because they make decisions. Either way it goes, you have two doors, customer or you have business partner. And we're going to help them based on which one they decide after seeing this business opportunity. Now, with that being said, I want you to remember something about being a professional in this type of a business. Professionals sort, amateurs sell and convince. There is very little more money in selling and convincing in this business model. There is a lot of money to be had learning how to sort. Sorting is fun. Convincing is draining. You've ever been in an argument with someone when you knew you were right and they just couldn't see it? And at the end, you were so exhausted, you just wish you were wrong? You guys know what I'm talking about? You don't want to get into an argument. This is the way we think as professionals. Let them be right, you go and be rich. It's not about convincing. And remember, it's all about timing. People will join when the timing is right. Sort and move on and you're going to have a great time building this business. And with that being said, guys, we have a little bit of recognition and a few testimonials from some people that are getting it done in a major way right now in the business. The first recognition I want to do is recognizing a woman she's brilliant. She's been in this business for a short period of time, and she had experience. She owned a Subway sandwich franchise in Hong Kong. Okay. On top of that, she's also working with an international bank. She lives in upstate New York. She's busy as a mom. She's really busy in her community, in her church. And she only had a few hours once a week on Saturday to build this business. But in that few hours once a week on Saturday to build it, in a short period of time, she's promoted to the position of regional coordinator. And guys, I want to share with you this because regional coordinator is such a powerful position. It frees up and allows you to really generate extra income in the company. It allows you to leverage your team in a way that you can't up until that point. And she did it one day with a few hours per week, consistently following what I shared with you. Remember? Getting great at asking for an opinion. And in doing so, she found people that had more time than she did, and she was able to take off. Now, here's what's so exciting. She was introduced by a woman who was just as busy. She's an IT professional. She was having success as an IT professional. In fact, she immigrated here to the United States from the Philippines. She came first. She was married. She had two beautiful daughters, and she decided to make the difficult decision to leave her family in the Philippines, come to the United States, and start to build a foundation. She was able to do so. Her family came out, and in working so much, she realized it was stressing her out to the point where it was affecting her health. She got involved with ACN, and now she is also a regional coordinator in this company. And I'm talking about Miss Marie Belena. And I want you to hear from Mrs. Marie Belena. So if you can, do you mind just quick 30 seconds sharing a little bit about your background, why you got involved with the company, and where you see yourself going?
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. Good evening again. My name is Marie Belena. I'm a software engineer, and I do ACM very part-time. What I saw was an opportunity for me to get my time and freedom back. I was diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer last year, and it made me realize that life is precious. I want to spend more time with my two girls. And I just decided to put my head down and listen to Mr. Lewis and Mr. Al Thomas. All my success is because of the training and support that ACN has in place. And what I see myself is doing this full time. I'm going to walk away from my job this year. Thank you. And back to you, Mr. Lewis.
Thank you so much. And I'm so excited for you. I told you guys she was a beast. You thought I was playing. So she's not only a regional coordinator, she's helping to promote regional coordinators in her team. In fact, there's another young lady you'll hear from in a little bit who is gunning for that position now as well. And she's really close to regional coordinator as well. But what we want to do now is I want to show you how that's happening. So remember, if you take anything from the mindset training, that's the foundation. But the power is in asking for the what? For the opinion. You want to get great at asking for the opinion, and that will set up people being exposed to the opportunity and figuring out whether they're a category what? 1, 2, or 3. You guys got it. I see it. You guys are sharp. All right. So next thing we're going to talk about is customer acquisition. So customer acquisition, nothing pays out in ACN without customers acquired. I don't care what type of business you're in, whether you have a coaching business, whether you have a business where you have a medical practice, whether you are an attorney and you're a part of a law firm, you have a practice there. You need customers, AKA clients, AKA patients, whatever you want to call it, those are customers. And in ACN, personal residual income comes from personal customer acquisition. So how do you get great at getting good at getting customers in this company? The first thing you want to do, take a screenshot of this page right now. Screenshot it. This is going to give you full access to all the product trainings in ACN. You have vimeo.com/ACN Inc. Not only that, but you go to ACN Compass, and that's going to get you started. You're going to see some customer training. You go to the training part in ACN Compass and start getting trained. That is your homework. We're not going to be going over all the details of all the services on here. My job isn't to teach you that. You need to learn that on your own. My job this evening is to teach you how to acquire customers so that you can get the results, okay? So as we talk about it, here are the steps to doing that. Again, you want to think like a what? You want to think like a business owner, okay? And business owners in ACN, the first thing that they do is they become their own customer. Is it mandatory? Absolutely not. But I knew in order to have success, it'd be mandatory to understand the process of being a customer in ACN. On top of that, I would have the confidence in the services that I'm offering, because it would be, number one, it would build belief. Number two, you're going to train yourself. Number three, you get paid on your services. And number four, you get free services through referrals, free programs through gas and electricity. You get free programs through cell phones. And you have a tax benefit as a 1099 business owner to write these services off as well. So it's powerful. You want to become your own customer right away, and you get paid for it. Becoming your own customer leads to you becoming customer qualified, or CQ. 3 services and 7 points, or 2 services with 12 points is going to earn you your first paycheck in ACN. So they're basically paying you for going through the process so that you know how to do it for your customers. You want to get that knocked out right away. And here is the breakdown to all the services. So we have ID Seal, which is the ID protection there. You see the amount of points that that you get when you become a customer. Electricity and gas, mobile or cell phone, payment processing, home security. Every single one of the services has a point value associated with it. And that point value, when you increase your points, you increase the percentages that you get paid in the company. So that's important. And if you take a look at this example, someone that has 5 services and is customer qualified actually has 27 points, because they have home security, which is 8 points, ID Seal, which is 8 points, ID Seal for a spouse. They got themselves as an energy customer on gas and electricity. It releases bonuses as well, because 10 points, 5 services makes you a $200 bonus. So you got $75 already for becoming customer qualified, and you got to 10 points and 5 services, which is $200. But there's more because of what ACN is doing in the month of March, ladies and gentlemen. They have put a special bonus on the table where if you go out and you reach this position we called executive team leader, what ACN is going to do is pay you a $500 bonus for reaching that position. You're going to get a $425 bonus from executive team leader, and you make that customer qualified bonus of $75. Combined, that is $200. And what ACN has done, if they've put some special promotions on the table for people in the month of March, where you have increased points for ID Seal, Zoom Energy, Flash in Canada, Flash Services, Fluent in Canada, also Flash Mobile in the United States. So you want to go to the ACN compensation plan on your back office or on acncompass.com so that you can get the details of that, as well as the referral programs that I was talking about. Referral programs on ID Seal, you get 5 and get rewarded. Your Zoom Power Up, where you're going to get a bonus equal to the average commodity charges. You also have get 5, get free for Flash Services in Canada for IBOs and customers, and for IBOs in the United States, you can get a free line of service on your personal account for every 5 Flash mobile accounts acquired. So it's important to understand these services. And also this month, you can get 2 packs. If you buy 2 packs of SIM cards, you get 1 pack free. Why would you want to buy packs of SIM cards? Because when you get people, when people get started as your customer, you want them to be able to activate right away. And instead of using snail mail, you can get them a SIM card immediately. So it's great to have those on hand. Okay. And then there are special bonuses just for referring customers. So how this works is once you get your first 3 services, 7 points, I mentioned that's $75 in bonuses. 2 more services earns you $200. And then from that point forward, every 3 additional services totaling at least 6 points is going to pay you another $200. And there's no limit to the amount of times you can do that each calendar month. So with that being said, I want you to take a look at the percentages. Here's how the points work. As you refer customers personally, you're increasing your customer counts. But remember, all the customer counts have what? Points associated with it. You guys remember that, right? And so as you increase your customers, you increase the amount of points you have, and the points equal to how much you're getting paid in personal residual income. So you see 1 to 39 points pays you 3%. But I want you to look at something. Look at the 200 plus mark. When you have over 200 points, you have the opportunity to earn 20%. And we have an amazing person, Jabri, I don't know if you can unmute her. But she's on here, so I'm gonna recognize her anyway. Miss Diane Collins in Australia, she has over 200 personal points, and she's getting paid that full 20% on all of her customers. So Miss Diane Collins, if you don't mind, could you just real briefly explain your background, just 30 seconds, your background, how you were able to get over 200 plus customer points, and where you see yourself going in the future with this business?
Sure. Hi, everybody. Thanks, Mr. Lewis. I'm a Jimbaroo teacher, and I'm a mum of 2 girls here in Melbourne, Australia. We've been, like all you guys, in lockdown, and that's where my start really started, just attending all the training. I've been blessed to be able to come into this group with Mr. Thomas and Mr. Lewis and everybody else, and Ms. Belina. And I just listened. I listened to what they said. I just used to follow up with my customers. You've got to come from the heart. You've got to listen to what they need. And I just asked them, I asked them how they're coping in the situation. I asked them if there's anything that I can do for them. And then the conversations just flowed from there. And then you always must ask for referrals. That's what I've been doing, is asking for referrals, following up. As Mr. Lewis always says, you've just got to keep following up, keeping it real. You've got to keep that your heart in your business all the time. So that's what I've been doing. And I've gone to visit customers when we could get out. And if not, I've just used the phone. I've used the internet. As Mr. Lewis says, use all your social platforms. He's a guru at it, and just learn from him. He's a master at what he does. His craft, he's going to be SVP. And I'm just going to hang on to anyone that I can with Mr. Lewis and Mr. Thomas, and just keep going, because I want to be RD by May. And that's my goals for this year. And I want SVP. And I'm sitting on 347 points now, Mr. Lewis. I put 40 points in February, and I'm already sitting on 24 for March.
So I need you guys to understand that means by herself, she is halfway to regional director, by herself, okay? And as a regional coordinator out of the market in Australia, I just wanted you to hear from her, and also to hear, because we're global, guys. This is all over the world, and the time difference doesn't stop the money. Okay, so I want you guys to understand that. Thank you so much for sharing last minute so that we can talk to you a little bit. Now, guys, so that's all exciting. 347 points, that sounds crazy. I know some of you are like, how in the world? I'm gonna show you how. Is that okay? All right, listen. In order to get big business, in order to get big amount of points, in order to have a big team, you have to start with the small things. It's the small things. Here's the first thing we want to do. This is what we scale. It's our 7-day game plan. This is the blueprint that allows us to win so big. And I want to share with you what I mean by winning. In our organization, the entire 4th quarter of the year and the first part of this year, the first quarter is not even done, but the 4th quarter of last year and the 1st quarter of this year, over 90% of the people that have joined our organization have earned a fast start bonus of $500 to $700, and they've promoted to executive team leader within their first couple of weeks. Over 90%. So what does that mean? Why am I sharing? Is it because do I want to brag? Has nothing to do with me, has nothing to do with our team. What it has to do with is the fact that there is a system that anyone can follow from any background or walk of life and get the same result. What does that mean for you? If you have everyone follow the 7-day game plan, you're going to build a business that's scalable. And that's how it leads to hundreds of customers. That's how it leads to hundreds of business partners, by following what you see on the screen. So you might want to take a screenshot of this. By following the 7-day game plan, no matter if you're as busy as myself and Marie, or you have more time, what you'll be able to do is we'll help you to generate your first paycheck, get you qualified for ACN's leadership training for executive team leaders and above only. And then you'll have the company's top people pouring into you, giving you exactly what you need to win. So we want to get you there. That's the foundation we created with the 7-day game plan. And so as we take a look at some of the point values that I mentioned, if you take a look at the next slide, gas and electricity is up to 2 points. You have 2 points for business, and for gas and electricity, gas is 1 point, electricity is 2 points. And then we have increases with the March bonuses as well. Plus you have, if you take a look here, Vivint Home Security. Vivint Home Security is 8 points in the month of March. And then if you take a look at IDCO, Identity Theft Protection, there's so much value in getting identity theft protection nowadays. I can't believe how many people I personally know that are getting hacked nowadays. They're getting hacked. They're getting hacked in their home stuff, and they're also getting hacked on social media. All of a sudden, your friend is reaching out to you wanting to know if you want to make money in Bitcoin, and you've never heard them talk about it because they're getting hacked, okay? Make sure you're protected. And the best way to do that is through picking a plan through IDCO's Identity Theft Protection. And in the month of March, the plans are promotions, 4 points for a quarterly plan and 8 points for an annual plan. And that leads to you earning executive team leader with a minimum 15 points from your team, which is going to earn you a $500 bonus in your organization or from your organization. And now what I want to do is I want you to just take a look at a few things. We have a lot of people that are getting promoted. So I'm just going to bring up this list, and then we're going to hear from someone as well. So people hitting customer points, winning big, hitting 15 customer point milestones. We have so many people, Peachy Aggregata, we have Catriel, her daughter, Melanie Evangelista, her father, Jose, we have Apple Mendoza, Jonathan Dye, Vivian Capolino, I see you on there, congratulations. Cecilia Benavides, we have Armando Juego, we have Aaron Tejeras, we have Jeko Sicard, we have Jose Madrid, Catherine Madrid, Lynn Serrano, Marie Belena, and we also have Lynn, brand new, and she just promoted to executive team leader. You'll probably hear from her next week. And so I just wanted to read it off because these people are getting it done in a major way. And I want to recognize particularly someone who's making it happen both in customers and business, and that is Jeko, executive team leader, Jeko Sicard Jr. He is a single father. Get this, I want you to know how busy he is. Single father. He works full-time in his corporate job. He works part-time in retail overnight, and he decided to take on ACN. And in a short period of time, not only did he make a $700 bonus for him in his first couple of weeks, he turned around and showed his sister how to do the same thing. So they made over $1,600 in income in their first couple of weeks in the business in their household. Mr. Jeko, if you don't mind, we'd love to hear from you, brother. If you could share a little bit about your background. He's out of the Illinois marketplace, and just take 30 seconds, why you got started, your background, and where you see yourself going.
Yes, hello. My name is Jacko. I'm from Carroll Stream, Illinois, working as a compliance specialist and a part-time retail during nighttime. I'm just a single dad that wants to be best for his son to have a better future. I joined ACN because it gives me the opportunity to run my own business. Being busy working 40 to 60 hours a week, I use my spare time on weekends to run the business. Yes, I only work during weekends. I don't have any time for this one. I invite friends and family and share the opportunities ACN has to offer. During my first week in joining, my expectations are very low because I'm not used to market services and run an online business. I'm not sure if I can excel in this kind of work, but showing interest and learn the thirsty to earn some money for myself and my son, I find myself running the business with success with the help of the team and support offered by ACN. So that's it, Mr. Julian.
Thank you so much. And I just have to point this out. So, Jacko, you're in Illinois. You and your sister are in Illinois. Your sister lived in North County in San Diego for a little bit, but you guys are from the Philippines, right?
Yes,
And
we
if
are.
I'm not mistaken, a lot of your friends that you got partnered up with ACN, you actually knew in the Philippines, and they're all over the world. You have people in your team in Denmark. You have people in your team in Australia. You have people in
Yes.
your team in the United States. Is this correct?
Yes, actually, the one is right now. She's from Australia. I invited her, and the friend who invited me is from California, and another friend of mine in my church choir mates are from Denmark. Yes.
So the reason why I wanted to point that out again, congrats. And I see your friend Kulu, she's in there. I see she has a blazer on. Yes, hi, I see you out in Australia too. So the reason I'm sharing this is because it doesn't matter where you are. He's from the Philippines, living in Illinois, introducing people all around the world who are building the business in the countries that they live in, and they know people everywhere as well. So just know that you can do this. And he's a single father. He's working a full-time, a part-time, and spare time in ACN, and he's still winning big. So all you have to do is get out of your own way and follow the system, and you'll get the results that Jacko's getting. So thank you again, sir. I appreciate you sharing with us. And with that being said, the reason why I wanted to mention that is because the next part we're getting into is team building. And I want to tell you guys that team building is the reason why I was able to have success. Team building allows you to get paid overriding residual income, and it gives you the opportunity to bless and empower others to build alongside you. And so I want you to take a look at this next slide. We're talking about overriding residual income and what that looks like. When you build a team, ACN pays you through what it calls levels. And when you introduce, let's say you introduce Jacko, you'd be excited if you introduced Jacko, right? So Jacko being in your team, you personally introduce Jacko, he would fall on what ACN calls your first level. Now, Jacko, he said he introduced Kulu in Australia. Jacko introduced her. She is on Jacko's first level, but on your second level. And let's say Kulu introduced Marie Belena in San Diego. Marie would be on your what? Third level. She would be on Kolu's first level and Jacko's second level. And that keeps happening, so on and so forth. Marie introduces Julian, I would be on your fourth level. And then if I introduced Casey, Casey would be on your fifth level. Now, what if Casey introduced someone? Casey introduced an individual named Tamara. Tamara would be on your sixth level. But if you notice, there's only 5 levels there. What does that even mean? So here's what it means. As you gather more personal customer points, once you get to 75 personal customer points, Marie is over 75 personal customer points, which means she gets paid through 5 levels of residual income. In other words, if I was on Marie's 4th level, she would be getting paid 4% on all the customers I gather. If Diane Collins was on Marie's 5th level, she has over 347 customer points. That means you would get paid, if she was in your team, 4%. You get paid 4% on all of those all of those customers every single month. I want you to think about that for a second. And so what if I was on your 6th level? All that means is once you get to regional vice president, you get paid levels 5, 1 through 5, but you also get paid level 6 through infinity. So what if Mr. Al Thomas, senior vice president, was on your 200th level? You would still get a percentage on over 500,000 a month in billing volume. You would get a percentage on because he would fall on your 200th level. So it pays to keep going in this business, guys. And I want to share with you that the way we build a business, so I showed you the 7-day game plan. What does that look like? We're going to have what we call a soft opening or private business Zoom. The reason for the soft opening is we're going to invite, if you've ever been to a soft opening, like at a restaurant or something like that, who is the soft opening for? Pastor John, I don't know if you've been to one before, but it's usually for the family and friends, right? And the people closest to you. That's the soft opening. The grand opening, who do you invite to a grand opening? Everyone, right? I saw you, TJ. I saw you, Mal. Everyone. So the soft opening is special. You invite the important people. So these are your closest contacts: family, close friends, closest coworkers, closest, or what we call flat tire friends. Who's a flat tire friend? Anyone that you could think of that if it was 2 o'clock in the morning and it was raining outside and you couldn't call AAA and you were stranded, you could call them, and they might not like the fact that they're getting out of their warm bed, but they love you enough to come get you. Those are flat tire friends. Do you know what flat tire friends have in common? You usually talk to them on a regular basis where you and they know your schedule, you know their schedule. You know that they usually work at 3 o'clock and then when they get off, they're stuck in traffic for a certain amount of time. You usually know what days that they work. And so it's easy to invite those type of people to take a look right away. And the reason why it's so important to invite them first is because those are the people that usually have the most influence in our lives and our decision-making. So we want them to see it first and give them the benefit to be able to build with us right away. Here's how you invite. You use what we call the great news or the announcement script, okay? What is the great news? If I'm contacting, and Casey's one of my closest friends, he's on here right now. If I'm contacting Casey, I'm telling him, hey, I'm doing a big reveal, a business reveal. I'm making an announcement, and I'm really excited about this. And I would love for your opinion. I need you to carve out some time. That's all I'm going to tell him. So when he asks me what it is, you guys know, have you ever seen a baby reveal? You don't know what it is until the reveal. Is this true? So if Casey asks me what it is, he's just being nosy, and I'm going to tell him as a friend, Casey, that's what the reveal is for. And so he's going to say, okay, I get it. And then we're going to schedule a call time with who? You. So for me, it would be me, Casey, and my mentor. And I'm going to introduce Casey to my mentor, and he's going to invite Casey for me. Okay, that's for the soft opening. And it's really, really simple, guys. And the reason why we do this is because it allows you to get yourself out of the way and you don't have to answer questions. So here's what it looks like in text form. So if you want to take a look, this is what we do when we're inviting people through text. OMG, I'm really excited. I have great news. When do you have 2 minutes to talk? That's it. I don't care if people are working at their job. They're going to look at their phone at least sometime at work. And when they see that, immediately they're going to get excited because everyone is a little bit nosy. Can we agree this is true? Some people are more nosy than others, but everyone is at least a little bit nosy. So they're going to be excited. That's going to pique their interest. When they tell you when they have 2 minutes to talk, schedule a time to talk. Let your mentor know that time that you're scheduling, and then do a 3-way call with your mentor so that your mentor can book them in with an exclusive invite to your soft opening. That is the process. And that's what allowed us to have tremendous amount of success in our businesses, guys. That's what allowed us to have so many people enroll. And then here's the grand opening. And when you have a grand opening, you invite who? Who is it again, TJ? Everyone. There you go. Everyone. And so here's what, when you're doing a grand opening, do you think if if a traditional business owner has a grand opening, they're going to contact everyone that they know and see if the schedule is okay for them to invite? No. Can you imagine deciding to get married and your fiance says, whoa, 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 before we pick the wedding date, I got to call my friends to see what their schedule's like. There wouldn't be a wedding anymore. Does that make sense? Guys, when it comes to inviting, here's what you do. You set the date. Schedule the date that works for you. Pick a time that works for you and your mentor. Then the second step, make a list of everyone. We talked about that in the beginning. Your list is everything, right? Third step, reach out. The person with the most exposures wins. And here's why it's so fun. All we're doing is asking for an opinion. That's it. We're not pressuring, we're not pushing, none of that. We're just asking for the opinion because you're gonna find people like me, people like Marie, people like Jekko, people like Kolu, who are looking for something like this already. And you wouldn't have to convince me. I didn't have to convince Marie. She saw a 10-minute video and she said, I want in. There are people out there that are looking for you. And the faster you do this, the faster it'll happen. Now know this, here I want to leave you with something important to understand, the right expectation. Out of the people you reach out to, about 50% will respond. That's just the way it is. 50% will respond. The bigger your blitz, the more customers and IBOs. Your goal is to get results right away. So understand your numbers. And remember, at the end, all we're going to do is what? We're going to sort. We're going to ask people what category they're in. So here's what I need you to do. Here's a call to action. This is going to help you to get to the next level. So I hope you're paying attention. We want to get your private business Zoom scheduled right away. So I need you to do this. Reach out to the person, your mentor or sponsor that you're working with right now. Don't delay. Don't wait till after. Shoot them a text. Say, I need to schedule a PBZ right now. Okay? And then they'll reach back to you to set a time. Belinda, I don't see you texting. You guys, make sure you're texting right now. I'm going to call you out if I don't see you because I'm helping you to get to this next level. Marie, you should be texting me. I don't see anybody texting me. I don't see my phone going off right now. What's going on, Melanie? I see you over there. All right, Jekko, I see you. So here's what I need you to do. Alez, Jetha, I see your picture. In your picture, you don't look like you're texting. So I need you to start texting the people right away. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Okay? So with that being said, the next testimony I want you to hear from, just really briefly before we wrap this thing up, is Miss Melanie Evangelista. And we call her Lonnie. Lonnie is, in my opinion, she's a gangster. Here's what happens. Lonnie sees this business through a close friend of hers, Cecilia. Lonnie's moving. She's in the process of moving from an apartment to a home with her family, which is it's stressful anytime you move. On top of that, she's working 50 to 60 hours a week at her job as in the IT field, and she's working for the government in California. And as busy as she is, this made so much sense to her, she got started immediately, despite being busy. And listen to what happened. Here are the results. In her first 7 days, she was able to promote to executive team leader and generate a $700 bonus. The biggest part about that is that most of the work she did was in less than 24 hours. After she reached that position, she introduced her dad to the business and helped him promote to the same position. And she also helped her household to make over $1,600 in their first couple of weeks. So I want you to hear from Ms. Melanie Evangelista. If you don't mind, could you just share, same thing, just 30 seconds, background, why you got involved and where you see yourself going?
Hi, hello everyone. My name is Melanie. So I'm actually an IT specialist working about 50 to 60 hours a week for the state of California. So I don't have kids. Instead, I'm supporting both my parents and my niece. So just like what Julian said, I was a number 2. I got interested, but then I have some questions. But then after all of my questions got answered, I signed up and I started to strategize. So focus on that word strategize. So I started to strategize and think about all of my services, think about of all of my friends who I wanted to invite. And then I joined ACN because I see the opportunity for me and my family to save on the utility bills that we are already paying. I also wanted to earn residual income. And of course, my most favorite part is the tax write-off. And true enough, we filed our taxes and it paid well. So, and in joining ACN, I would like to see myself build another stream of income, and so that I can achieve my goal to retire early. So let's do it, guys.
I love it. I love it. You're so amazing. I appreciate you jumping on and sharing. And oh, by the way, she was the lady I was talking about who's closing in on regional coordinator. So tell her, get it done. Put it in the chat. Get it done, girl. Get it done. And with that being said, we are at the last part of this. And this is only a few minutes, guys, because what I wanted to give you at the end is the gasoline. You already have the spark. It lit the flame. The training events are the gasoline that takes it to the next level. And every top earner in this industry, not just in ACN, but in this industry, they utilize the training events, because you can't be a prophet in your own town. What does that mean in ACN? You can't be a prophet in your own team. People are going to need to hear from other people to be able to get their results. And so there are a few events that I wanted to touch on. First is the team wake up Zoom that happens. If you can plug in, that's great. Monday through Friday, 8:55 a.m. Get on early. It's important you get on there at least 5 minutes before so you don't get shut out. So you want to make sure to get on that. Every day we have a special leader who's speaking on a specific topic. And here's the stair steps to having success in this business. We are really in the promoting business more than anything. Events will build your business. Events will build your belief. Events will build you. So we start out with the soft opening and the launch. That leads to the private business Zoom, which leads to the blueprint training that you guys are on right now. Congratulations. And that leads to what? The co-founder training and the international training event. And I want to share with you that I wouldn't be where I'm at today if it wasn't for the international training event. And there's one that's coming up March 18th through 19th in Oklahoma City. And I want you to know that when I first saw this business, and I'll bring that slide up again, I first saw this business, I didn't want to go to the international. I said, that's weird. I saw the video and there were people screaming, dancing. It looked like a rave or EDM, right? And I'm like, what? I was one of those people that I was a self-starter. I didn't want to be around people like that. That felt uncomfortable to me. And so I said, no, thank you. I'm too busy. I don't want to go. My mentor said, if you don't go, you won't get to the level you want, period, point blank. And he said that with a little bit stronger verbiage. I won't share what he said on this call today, but all I can say is the way he shared it, I wound up getting registered for the event. I got registered super late, so it was too expensive to fly. So I drove with strangers in black. It was all these black SUVs, and we drove the whole way really close to people I didn't know. Some people smelled a little different, others didn't, but it was not a comfortable situation. We showed up in Texas, okay? So California, San Diego drive to Texas, and I see my first event. And I hear from an individual who blew me away. And she spoke about someone by the name of Harriet Tubman. It changed my life. And it changed my life in a way that I decided to come home and build this business. And I want to share that quick story with you. She talked about how Harriet Tubman helped to free slaves through the Underground Railroad. And she was wanted dead or alive. And when she came up to you to offer your freedom, you had the chance to leave bondage, leave slavery, and be a free man or a woman. And I want to ask you guys a question. How many of you, by a show of hands, just be honest, if you were a slave and Harriet Tubman came to offer you your freedom, how many of you would go? And if your video's not on, you can raise your hand in the thing. But I want to see, if you were a slave, how many of you would go? Absolutely. It's because hindsight is 20/20 vision. What you're not thinking about is the fact that what if your grandfather was a slave, your father was a slave, your brother, your sister, everyone that looked like you, walked like you, talked like you, or thought like you were slaves, how could you conceive being free if no one around you was? It'd be a little difficult. Knowing that if you ran, they would kill you if they caught you. So Harriet Tubman had a challenge, and she would go up to people and she would say, Kush, you don't have to live this way. We're taking people to freedom. It'll take you 6 to 8 months to get there, brother. And when you get there, you'll be able to own your own land. You'll be able to marry whoever you want to, but more importantly, your children will live free. You know what most slaves said? You're crazy. I'm not going with you anywhere. I may not be free, but at least I'm alive and I'm surviving. I'm staying right here. But that didn't change Harriet Tubman. She would still go up to other people and she would say, Kolu, you don't have to live this way. We're taking people to freedom. It'll take you 6 to 8 months to get there. When you get there, you'll be able to own your own land, marry whoever you want. More importantly, your children will live free. Kolu would be a lot like a lot of us. She would get excited. She would go back into the plantation and try to round up the people that she cared about. And you know what would happen? Out of love, her family, her friends, the people that she loved, they would say, you're crazy, Kolu. Don't you know what they do if they catch you running? You need to stay put. We care about you. We don't want to see you hurt. Stay here with us. And they would snatch, out of love, they would snatch her dream of being free right out from under her. And she would stay put. Isn't that interesting how people close to us can convince us to stay instead of grow? And you know what? There were other people that she would go up to, like Pat Robinson, and she would say, Pat, you don't have to live this way. We're taking people to freedom. It'll take you 6 to 8 months to get there, but when you get there, you'll own your own land. You'll be able to marry whoever you want to. More importantly, your children will live free. And Pat, she got excited like everyone else. She would go back to the plantation and try to round up the people she loved. And out of love, she would meet the same adversity. You know what they would say? You're crazy. You need to stay here. But the difference is she would say, well, then you stay, I'll go. Because I'd rather die for my freedom than live in captivity as a slave. And God forbid I have the same results for my children. 6 to 8 months later, she'd find herself in Canada, being able to marry whoever she wanted to, being able to live the life she wanted to, being able to have her children live free. What did she have to give up? She had to change her thinking. It was her mindset. Remember, we started with mindset. And what's so crazy is they interviewed Harriet Tubman in Canada, and Harriet Tubman said, you know, she felt good about herself. They said, you must feel great. You feel freed hundreds of slaves. You know what Harriet Tubman said? I would have freed thousands if they knew they were slaves. And you might be thinking, how did they not know? When they signed the document in this country to free slaves, a lot of slaves stayed with their slave owners because they didn't know a different way. My question to you is, what kind of slave mentality is keeping you from your freedom? It's not like we have to go into Canada. See, the road to freedom in ACN leads right through Oklahoma City. You just need to get there so that you can get what you need to get to the next level to ensure the freedom for your loved ones. And if it wasn't for my first event and hearing that story, my mindset would have been different. I wouldn't have committed the way I did. I wouldn't have introduced the people that I did. And because of this event, it changed my family and the trajectory of my life forever. So, will you have to figure some things out to get to OKC next week? Absolutely. Do you have to figure everything out? No. How many of you think that you have to wait until all the lights turn green to leave your driveway to go to work in the morning? It doesn't work that way. But so for some weird reason, we try to do that in life. And it's the reason why you're still stuck in the driveway of your life right now. All you have to do is get out of the driveway. And when we come to a red light or a problem, we'll figure it out. And if you follow that, get committed, get registered for the event right now. And then what we'll do is we'll make that decision right by figuring out how to get you there. But it will be the best decision you made if you've never been to an event to get to Oklahoma City. So with that being said, I appreciate all of you for joining us this evening. I hope you got some value, you guys. I hope some of you had some light bulb moments, hearing from some of the amazing people that we were able to recognize. We want you next month to be recognized at this on our training call. So make sure, put your head down, get your PBZs scheduled, get registered for the event, and let's see each and every single one of you over the top, because we know the bottom is way too crowded. God bless, have an incredible rest of your evening, and we look forward to seeing all of you on the calls next week. Take care, everyone.